Hello everybody, this is Danny and Wanda from Deepsouth Homestead.
Today we're in our new project.
We're standing in the location where our new greenhouse will go.
It's going to be the Queen Dome. We've done named it. You got the King Dome in the background.
Yep.
This is going to be mine. That's Danny's, this is mine.
Where we're standing at right here, the squash will not be in the dome. The dome will line completely in perfect alignment with that other one right yonder and come to about where my right foot is standing at right here. Somewhere will be the corner of it.
And then it'll go across.
It'll go 16 feet down the hill here.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it's going to encompass our rattlesnake beans and our tomatoes that are on the other side. There's an apple tree growing in it in there which will come out, and a stump and different things like that. It's all inside this. We're going to be showing y'all how to remove a stump out of something without having to do a lot of work, and hopefully we can get that thing taken out of here before we get the greenhouse completed. But right now we need to get this greenhouse put up. We've gotten it in and we're excited about that. Now it may not happen overnight.
No, and this one's going to be a little special. Danny and I have talked about it. This one has all the trees and all the stuff in it. He's growing all kinds of veggies. We're testing to see what veggies grow best.
Yeah.
The second one, the Queen Dome, is going to have a very special garden in it.
Yes.
I'm not, are we doing it in the fall or the spring?
I
According to when the greenhouse gets put up.
guess it's going to depend on when we actually get it erected, because it's already extremely hot here.
Yeah.
And we can't spend a lot of time out in the blistering heat in it. So we'll work on it when we have time in the mornings when it's cool, or maybe late in the evenings if it cools off. Or maybe even at night. We may set up a light and do it at night. We did the last one at night, a lot of it. So
some of it we did, yeah. And so the special garden will be determined later. We've already picked out the plants. We've
Yes.
picked out the whole design. And it's subject to change.
it is subject to change, but I do believe that when we do this garden this coming year, if we don't get to it this year, I think you'll enjoy it. Now this one will have some different things about it. The last one back here behind us has a black top on it with a 40% shade cloth. We're doing a 40% shade cloth on this one also because we found that it works better. We've tried the 70, the 60, the 50. Now we're at the 40. The 40 is working perfect. But we're going to do a white one
To see.
side-by-side comparison to see if there's really a difference in the interior temperatures.
Yeah. So you're going to have the King Dome in black, the Queen Dome in white, and we are painting it white just like the other one. They will look alike. They are the same size. They will be built the same, but there will be lots of differences. So guys, we're going to take you on a tour up close of what this looks like right now so that you can see what Danny's fixing to encompass into the new greenhouse and what will happen as time passes on. And you want to take them on the tour?
Well, first of all, let me explain. I will be building the end wall on the other end down there. That will be built.
Yeah.
But I may not build the end wall on this end here just yet because I may need to get the tractor in here and do some leveling and do some work. It's just that right now, because of the blistering heat of the sun during the solar minimum that we're facing, or going into solar cycle 25, the sun is blistering everything. We come out here during the day, as beautiful as these squash are, and they stay watered, the heat just wilts them down. The rattlesnake beans all wilt down during the day, and they have plenty of water. It's just the intensity of the heat. So right now, our main goal is to get the top over this thing and get the shade cloth on it. Not necessarily the plastic.
We're not doing the plastic yet.
No plastic
Just
yet.
shade cloth.
Just shade cloth to see if that really makes a difference. Because if it does, then the one behind me is going to have the plastic on it. So we're going to kind of monitor both of these throughout the summer and see, is there really a big difference?
Between plastic and shade cloth, no plastic and shade cloth, white plastic, white shade cloth, black shade cloth, and we're doing this early in the morning and it's cloudy, or else we would be blistering hot.
Right now,
we would not be standing out here.
It's
if
already
the sun
fixing to be
was out.
8 o'clock here in the morning, and it would already, the sun right there would already be blistering us.
Yeah.
So we chose today to do this. Our greenhouse you know, arrived in I don't know
Rainy weather.
Rainy weather. It always
happens.
It always comes
Any
in rain.
delivery.
Any delivery comes
So
in.
we're going to show you his plants. I'm going to get the camera. I'm going to follow him around and let him do some talking about what is staying, what's going, how he's going to work this greenhouse.
Okay guys, this is a spaghetti squash. Now they're on the eastern side of the greenhouse. Most of these will stay where they're at. We're actively leaving them because they're actually starting to turn. You can see there, they're getting the look in there. They're headed toward the goal of being a nice, good golden color all down through here. They're starting to turn. The greenhouse will actually set like right here along this edge all the way down. And we're trying to train all the vines right now to stay up the hill and stay out of the way of the greenhouse so that when we drive the pipes and put them in the ground here, all of this is above the greenhouse and we don't really have to bother anything. The other bed, the sunflower bed, is above the greenhouse, so we're okay on the eastern side of the greenhouse. Now in the center of the greenhouse will be the rattlesnake beans here. Now this year looks like it's going to be the year for rattlesnake beans. These things, guys, are just literally gorgeous plants. They are loaded with beans. I mean, it don't matter where you pull the leaves up at, there's beans everywhere. I mean, you can see the beans are all up in here. They're starting to form really good. They're hanging all here. All the ends like this, everything. The beans, we're already picking some nice beans off of them. I mean, these things are, I mean, they're as tall as I am almost. They're up here. They would done be way above it, but I just made the trellis this high because I didn't want to be picking over my head. With my torn rotator cuff, I can't hold my arms over my head a lot. But these things are literally beautiful. Now these will be, as of right now, they will be in the center of the greenhouse, running right down the middle of it. They're lined up in the center of that door there, and they'll be in the center of the door on this end down here, which means that they get to stay in the greenhouse until they completely go away, and then we'll come in. That's why we wanted to leave it where we could get the tractor in here to come in here and pull all the posts up out of the ground, scrape all this stuff out of here, clean it up, get it out of here, and make it where we can begin to amend our soil. We're still looking at the design on the inside of the greenhouse. We pretty much think we have it. I'm not going to give that away just yet because we're not 100% sure. So let me take you around to the other side and I'll show you what's on the western side of where the greenhouse is going to go. Perfect alignment with the other one here, which means that the end wall will be right here. The sidewall will end somewhere right in here where my foot is. The green tomatoes and everything here will be inside the greenhouse as of right now. Now the old raised bed is rotten. It's ready for it to come up out of here. And then you look behind me, and this is our blackberry trellis that we've had here for years. We're probably going to move this because it's just going to be a little too close to the greenhouse. We want to be able to run our lawnmower down the back side of the greenhouse here between it and the sugar cane, so that we don't have to do so much weed eating. If we can mow it, then we feel like we're a little bit better off, and we're going to actually relocate these this fall to a new location we feel like is more suitable than right here where it's at, because once the greenhouse is up, these won't get any sun whatsoever, and that's going to hamper their growth and everything. So we've chosen a new location on the homestead here, and we're going to be moving them to there this fall. Look at these tomatoes here. Now these are going to be staying in the greenhouse right now. Look at, I just want you to look at how many tomatoes is
and the
on
dirt
here.
is because he mowed.
Yeah, I mowed and blowed stuff up on here with the lawnmower. Now see, we have to actively, that's why we come out here, is stink bugs. They're constantly, we're fighting these things. Now, we got a worm, you know, a worm ate a hole in one of them right here, these little small worms, but look at the size of some of those tomatoes. They're big as my hand. Big old tomatoes. One of them here has 25. This one right up here has 25 tomatoes on that plant. Look at that. They're all in there, just big, giant tomatoes. They're everywhere. These are the hybrid celebrities. Now these are not the heirloom celebrities, but the hybrid celebrities. And they are doing really good. I mean, we got one turning up in here. If our first tomato is turning, we're excited about that. We're gonna see how they taste. Once it gets completely turned, it's right here. You see it's starting to get a reddish tint to it. We're gonna leave it and let it ripen on the vine. And guys, these things are literally loaded. I don't know how long they will go, because the celebrity hybrid is a semi-indeterminate. We got one out over at the cabin that's a year and a half old, so I don't think I'm gonna leave these here that long. I think I'm probably, once they run their course and get most of the tomatoes off of them, I'll probably take them out, because I need to get the greenhouse really rolling. And I'm kind of curious to see, once we put the top on this thing, how these are gonna do underneath the shade cloth, because that'll be a new experience for us too. Now, inside this also we have some, if I can get them back without doing any damage here, we have the Arkansas Traveler thornless blackberry roots that have come over into here and have actually come up in the greenhouse here. I mean, in the tomato bed. And we're going to be taking those up and moving them to wherever these Arkansas Travelers end up being at on the homestead. We're going to be moving them all to a new central location so that we can have everything in one place. And as we come down, I want to show you a young apple tree in the greenhouse here that come up from the root of a big apple tree we cut down right here. Now we got to get this stump out of the greenhouse, and I'll show y'all how I do that a little bit later on. But this spring, we're going to dig this thing up and we're going to put it in a pot, and I'm probably going to graft it and see if I can't keep it going, because I have no need for it in the greenhouse here. And I'm going to be digging up, guys, this here is garlic chives. They are everywhere. They're all this stuff you see right here. This is all garlic chives out in here. I got to bring the bucket and the tractor in here, and I got to scoop all this dirt out of here with these garlic chives. The house is going to come all the way down to right along in here. Now we're going to have probably a 10 or 12 foot space between the greenhouses. And we've got a fig tree here. This is a brown turkey fig. It's going to be in between the two greenhouses and growing in between them. And hopefully it's going to give it some good protection. We can keep it pruned back, and I want you to look at all the figs up in this thing. I think it'll do good in between the two greenhouses. It'll be sheltered in here from the weather. And the fact that fig trees really need protection from the very, very cold weather. They do better when they're protected. This one was put here before we actually planned to put the greenhouses here, but it looks like it's worked out in a good location because we can put it between the two greenhouses. Now, okay, I'm back on the eastern side. Now, y'all notice we have raised beds on the eastern side of this. Now, we're going to put another raised bed down here. We have one beside this greenhouse. We have this raised bed. The reason for that is this is a steep hillside. You probably can't tell it in the video, but lots of water comes down through here. And we're going to have raised beds all the way down. When the squash come out, I'm going to put raised beds down there also. So that as that water comes down the hill, it hits the backside of these raised beds, and it takes that water and it diverts it off the other end down yonder to keep it from coming into the greenhouse and causing any kind of damage. It's worked really good behind the other greenhouse here because we have the raised bed in front of it. And you know, it seems like it's worked really well keeping the water from rushing down into the greenhouse. Had no problems as of yet. Now there is an old apple tree here that's about run its course. We're going to probably be taking it out as soon as it dies. Okay, this raised bed that's next to the greenhouse here. Now this has Miss Wanda's sunflowers in it right now, and some peas. We put peas underneath them because they will run around the bottoms of the sunflowers and help shade them. The sunflowers are up over 25 inches tall right now. They're doing really good all the way down through here. These are the autumn beauties. They're very beautiful sunflowers. They're probably not far from putting a flower on. They're going to be really pretty outside the greenhouse here. And then as we come down, we have this pomegranate tree here. This thing, guys, is loaded with pomegranates. Look at that. It's got pomegranates all over it. Miss Wanda loves her pomegranates. Everywhere we look, there's pomegranates. They're just, as the tree grows up at the top, they just keep coming on. And I don't even know how many's on this tree. I just know that there's a lot of them on it. Everywhere you look up in here, you pull limbs back, there's pomegranates on it. Now some of the first ones to come on are a little bit larger. Some of these limbs here, you can look up under in there and how many pomegranates they are in this thing everywhere. The raised bed will continue to come on down like I mentioned. Where the squash is, once they come out, I will build a raised bed there, and the pomegranate will actually be inside the raised bed, and it will be on the eastern side of the greenhouse, which means it will get the morning sun, and it will be protected from the hot sun of the afternoon, which I think will be really good for the pomegranate tree. We're excited because it means more food on the homestead here. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed a little bit of a kind of a pre-look at where we're going to be putting the queen dome, and a little bit about what our landscape looks like here now. Because see, you can't really tell it on the camera. I'm up on a hillside here where the greenhouse is. To show you, I'm going to step 3 feet, and watch me when I step 3 feet. See how much I come down? I come down over a foot. That's how steep this grade is here. And I've got to come in with the tractor, and I got to be able to cut all this out of here and level this thing in and all. That's why we got to leave this end wall out where I can get in here and actually do the work that I need to do to get this greenhouse leveled up just like I did the last one. Thank you for staying with us, and thank you for going through this journey with us. And I hope that as we put this greenhouse up, or high tunnel, whatever you want to call it, that you will enjoy watching us experiment with it and seeing what actually grows best in the high tunnels and greenhouses here in the Deep South. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.